music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause I'm not gonna have matching Ep.545 cruising. Feel like you winning on it.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Now, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a friendly show, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, hit us up on the voicemail line. That's 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play your take back on the next episode. And then speaking of episodes, shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off of your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now that code can only be applied to first-time users on the mobile app or website. So go ahead, create that account and use that promo code. Save yourself some money on MLB tickets. Or if you going to a playoff game, Trav, you going to a playoff game today? Or not today, of course, but this season in the NBA?
I'm going to try to. I really want to get down for a Pistons one. You know, our team's in it, so hopefully I can make it down.
You know, me too, man. I really want to go. But I told myself, I don't even know if I'll be able to make it back there in time. But if we somehow go to the conference finals, NBA finals, I'll be there. I'll be there. I might not be at the game, but I'll be in Detroit.
Hey, if they make the conference finals, we should watch the game downtown.
I will be there. I don't care if I got work the next day. I will be there. And I'll be there without a single doubt about it. But anyway, that just brings me to my point. The Pistons are in the playoffs along with everybody else. The postseason is officially on its way. We got the play-in games first, which I really dislike the play-in tournament. That's just my initial reaction is I think this is just well overdue. It needs to be gone. The play-in tournament, why do we have to milk it even more and bring it to top 10 teams? If you're not good enough to be top 8, you just don't need to be in the playoffs at this point because winning 40 games, 37 games, and somehow still getting in the playoffs, to me, is just tragic. And that just says you shouldn't even be in the playoffs or have a chance to get in the playoffs and also possibly getting a chance to win the NBA draft lottery. So it's a lot of things that need to change with that. However, play-in games, start off with the Eastern Conference. Play-in, you have the Charlotte Hornets versus the Miami Heat for the for the 9th seed, which can turn into the 8th seed. And then you have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Orlando Magic playing each other for the 7th seed. Now, a couple things, and I just want to pull it up here, but in the Eastern Conference, any of these games excite you at all? Just first things first, anything excite you about any one of these games? It doesn't have to because some of them don't really excite me. But I'm just curious about if it makes you feel the type of way, Trav.
I would say the Hornets. The reason why I'm excited for the Hornets, I hope they get the 8th seed. I want to see the Pistons versus the Hornets. If anyone that's listening or watching right now that was paying attention to the game where the Pistons beat the Hornets a few nights ago, Jalen Duren was telling the team, don't shake hands. And I thought we're finally getting that rivalry back, that hatred towards another team wanting to beat them. I want my Detroit Pistons to play the Hornets in round 1 to beat them. So I hope the Hornets get there. And plus, they have a pretty good team. Obviously, we know the rookie who's been a great shooter all year, LaMelo's getting in his bag. And they do have a good team. So I do think they could also make it a series with Detroit. Obviously, I'm going to say Detroit in about 5 games, maybe 6. But I would like that entertaining factor of we saw what Isaiah Stewart and Miles Bridges did earlier in the year, getting that beef. Cade, even Duncan Robinson got into it with Brandon Miller. So I really like that excitement because with playoff basketball, it's giving you that feel again. So I would like the Hornets to win. The Sixers kind of surprised me a little bit excited. Paul George, I always used to call him Pandemic P just because he wasn't, or more so Podcast P, because he just seems like he's not interested in hooping no more. But he's had flashes of Indiana Paul George. So I want to see if if they can do something, him and Tyrese Maxey. So the Sixers got a good team, but they're always a what if because of healthy. But I would say the team I'm most excited about is the Hornets. So hopefully we can get that Detroit Pistons versus Charlotte Hornets matchup.
So you got the Hornets beating them? No, Miami Heat?
I got Hornets beating the Heat. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a good one. I think Bam Adebayo is going to do his thing. You got Tyler Hero. They got a good team, and plus, even though they don't have their Jimmy Butler, Miami's a team that has made runs. We've seen them make NBA Finals, Conference Finals. You know, with those fights they've had against Boston, they still got majority of those guys. So I think it's going to be a good one. But I'm going to say the Hornets just because they're a deep ball from three. That team can shoot three collectively with anybody, and I think they're going to pull through.
I'm not mad at that. So here's my thing though about this matchup between Hornets and Miami Heat. Hornets have been on a roll, and I think Hornets have been on fire lately. They've been playing really good basketball, really since the All-Star break. Very competitive. However, bro, this is where the Miami Heat thrive. The play-in games. This is where the Miami Heat thrive. They don't know if they want to be good or if they want to be bad enough to tank and get a good pick in the lottery. Because dating all the way back to the implementation of the play-in games, which was 2022, the Miami Heat has not lost a must-win game in the play-in. They've always advanced every single time they've had a chance to get in the playoffs. So this really, really makes me think the Miami Heat is going to end up winning this game against the Charlotte Hornets, even though the Hornets have been on fire. And I would love for the Hornets to even, get in the playoffs after having some awful years in this past decade. But the Miami Heat, this is when they lock in. The play-in games is when they lock in, bro. So I'm going with the Miami Heat to win it, man. It's going to be crazy.
I think it'll be a good game, but I gotta disagree, man. A lot of those playing games, they did have Jimmy Butler. Now, granted, they did win last year. Obviously, they ended up losing to the Cavaliers. But I just don't think with LaMelo, that team they got, Brandon Miller, those guys, it's going to be a good one. Like, it's going to be close, but I just think the Hornets got the momentum, and they're a little bit younger. Like, Bam, I mean, unless he just has 83 again, which, I mean, we don't anticipate on that. I think it will be a good game. I'm saying, like, I think Hornets like a 5 to 7 point win. They're not going to run away with it because this is like, NCAA tournament type feels. It's, you win in advance or lose and maybe go home.
Well, so this is what's crazy here. Now, I just wanted to switch it over on the screen. Now, ESPN, and I don't know if it comes from Vegas or wherever the hell it comes from, but they got the Hornets as favorite, 73%. Okay. And I think it's kind of crazy that they not giving the Heat a chance, given the Miami Heat history, bro. Like, even without Jimmy Butler, I think so. But I know last year there was no Jimmy Butler, and they still somehow found their ways to the playoffs. And, like, they've always found a way to get in the playoffs. Will they win that series once they finally get in there? Absolutely not. So, I don't know, man. I think it goes either way. And then the thing here, too, with this matchup between the two teams is Heat are 3-1 over the Charlotte Hornets in the regular season. So that's another thing where it's like they've beaten this team multiple times, and now the Heat, they get a chance to thrive where they do most in the play-in games. They get another chance to prove everybody right that they're not bad. They're just mediocre and win this game against the Hornets. So I think they're going to end up taking it. Also, some other interesting things here is like Hornets, they do take care of the ball much better than the Miami Heat, but I just to me, I'm still just on the side of like, even though they shoot better, they got more 3-point makes, they take better care of the ball. In a lot of other categories, I believe don't quote me on this part, but I believe it's rebounding and assists as well. But for some reason, I can't find a way to go to the Charlotte Hornets. But maybe this is the dagger that's going to officially turn it to the Miami Heat and make everyone in that organization realize we need to stop being so mediocre because, like I said, they haven't lost in the play-in games when they had to win since it was implemented in the league. So maybe the Hornets can do them a favor by actually knocking them out of the play-in games and advance on to the 8th seed. So that one will be – I'm kind of curious to see how this goes too, and I think either way, I think we'll get a good game between these two teams here, but – we do have another matchup in the Eastern Conference. In the Eastern Conference, we have the Philadelphia 76ers and the Orlando Magic. This is for the 7th seed. So the winner of this ball game will go on to play the Boston Celtics, who are the number 2 seed. And what's your thoughts right away? I just want to hear what you're thinking.
So I'm going to say this. The winner of this game is going to get a first-class seat to a 4-game sweep. Neither team should beat Boston. So that's right. So they're both playing for the right to lose. I want to make that point. But secondly, I would like to see the Magic win. The reason why I like Pablo, I like their team. They're more healthy. With the Sixers, they have a good team, but it's always a what if. If Joel Embiid plays games, this team could maybe win a championship. You got him, PG, Tyrese Maxey, a good team. But it's like Joel Embiid is never there injury.
Oh,
So it's like
bro.
if they win this game, it's like they're not going to win. Then people are going to be like, well, they lost to Boston because Joel Embiid's not playing. Well, it's like he never plays already. So it's
Yeah.
like I'd rather just see Magic, even though I think either team would lose. Magic could pose a little bit of a better threat. They played Boston last year in the same exact matchup, a 2 seed versus 7 seed, which they lost in 5 games. But I do think Magic can maybe make it a little bit more competitive, like maybe try to make it a game every game. Even though I do think they'll lose every game, I do think they can make it somewhat competitive. No, I'm saying like a gentleman sweep. Like what I mean? Like it's like neck and neck all the way, but the Celtics are going to pull through with like a 12-0 run in the fourth quarter, that type of thing.
Yeah. No, I could see that happening.
So I think that's what's going to happen with them. So I think they're going to win. And plus another thing, Paul George, Podcast P, Pandemic P. I think he's going to have one of those performances where he's just off, and they'll end up like losing.
I can see that happening too. I'm done with the 76ers, bro. Like, I have no faith. The process is over. I'm sick of Joel Embiid, honestly. I'm not. Let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase it because I don't want it to be said out of context. I'm sick of the hype around Joel Embiid. I have no beef with Joel Embiid, the person. I have no beef. But the basketball player, the hype that surrounds Joel Embiid, I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm not buying anything that anybody is selling from him. I know he had maybe a hot 2-week period during the regular season, and everybody wanted to get all hype and think he was back and, oh, Joel Embiid's going to take the 76ers to the playoffs, blah, 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 whatever. But I'm done with it, bro, because Joel Embiid ain't played over 40 games in 3 years. 3 years. He ain't played over 40 games. And yes, he come back every month and give you a 25 and 12 point game, or he might give you a 35 or even a 40 piece twice a month or something, but it's not sustainable at all. So I'm not buying any Joel Embiid stock. And I advise anybody who's a 76ers fan or a fan of Joel Embiid or a fan of anybody in the NBA to sell all of your Joel Embiid stock because it's done. It's done. I think it's over with. And for this reason specifically of Pandemic P, Joel Embiid, who cannot be sustainable on the basketball court, for this reason, I'm going with the Orlando Magic to win. Like, I did just get the Magic there. At least they're on the up and coming. They got some injuries too, but at least this will be good for the young guys they have over there, the young talent. I need our Orlando Magic to win this because I'm done with the 76ers, man. They gotta go back, hit the drawing board, and to their fact, or to help the Magic's argument, they've won 3 of the 4 games that they played the 76ers this year. So, like, I think they already have a slight advantage. Obviously, the confidence is there because you've seen his team 4 times and you won 3. And, their stars is just unreliable. And, yeah, bro, I know Maxey is there. And Maxey is really the future of the 76ers if they want to build anything. I think VJ Edgecombe and Maxey are the main guys. And they can light up. Maybe they will light up for 30 points, and this helps the 76ers advance. But I'm on the side. I'm done with the 76ers, bro. I'm done with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think you make a great point. Joel Embiid, it's like the fact he doesn't play. We know what he does when he's on the court. This man's as good as Jokic. He even took MVP from Jokic that some people think Jokic should have got, but Embiid balled out, that year. So we know what he is capable of doing when he's on the court. It's kind of like a Kawhi Leonard thing. It's like when these guys are on the court, they're one of the top 5 players in the world. It's just about getting them on the court to do their job. Yeah. So with Embiid, I think, this might be a hot take, but if I was the Sixers, I would maybe look at other options this offseason, especially if you do end up losing this game and missing the postseason. Like moving on from Embiid, not just because he's not a good player, but it's more so he's never on the court. Like, you want to put guys around, like you just made a great point with Tyrese Maxey being as good as he is. You want to put guys around him that you could build a future with. And if Paul George still gives you a few good more years, you want to do that. Because with Embiid, it's like with him not playing with his knees, should he retire? Should he, it's all these unknowns around his career. So I just think the Magic pose a better threat against the Celtics. And 2, you would rather, as basketball fans, rather see the healthier team play because their stars are going to play from like Pablo, Desmond Bane, and all the other guys they got. Those guys are going to be on the court. And plus, with the momentum from winning, I think they're going to win. Now I'm looking at the thing you just brought up. I see 55% the Sixers side. I don't agree with that. I think that's blasphemy. Now I know they're going off prior, playoff experience with PG, Embiid, those guys, Maxey, but I think that's wrong, and the Magic should prove that this week.
Yeah, I'm on the Magic side of the Magic too, man. And I don't know. I think these matchup odds right here are kind of crazy with 76ers at 55%. But I think a big reason for that, and I could be wrong, this is literally just my opinion on it, is for this fact right here, that it's in Philly. So Magic got to go on the road and they got to beat a 76ers team at home. So that is the big factor that's swaying the odds to the favor of the 76ers, but it's just a little weird to me that they have that much confidence in the 76ers. But I'm done, man. I advise anybody and everybody to sell all of their stock on the 76ers here. But let's move to the West because, wait, before I do that too. So this game between 76ers and the Orlando Magic, it's a 7-seed game. So whoever wins will secure the 7th seed. But the losers of this game will go on and still have a chance to get in the playoffs. So I never even mentioned that when you're in the play-in, just to kind of re-explain it to anybody who's listening, when you're in the play-in, if you're fighting for a 7th seed and you lose that game, you still have an opportunity to get the 8th seed. Whereas the 8th seed team, meaning the Charlotte Hornets versus the Miami Heat, for this example in the Eastern Conference, the loser of that game is out, and the winner of that game still has to go on and win another matchup for the 8th seed, and they will be playing the loser of that matchup between the 76ers and the Orlando Magic. So just to clarify that a little bit, and I know it still may come off a little bit confusing, but basically if you're playing for a 7th seed, you get 2 chances. If you're playing for an 8th seed, you must win to advance. And so that brings me to the point here of the Western Conference team. Western Conference team, we got your boy Steph Curry. He is playing in the play-in. Your boy Steph is there, present in the play-in with the Golden State Warriors going against the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, this matchup, to me, I think either way, kind of like you said about the Hornets matchup, or kind of like you said against the Philadelphia and Orlando Magic matchup, whoever wins this game is looking at a first-way ticket to Cancun. The Warriors, Clippers, y'all playing for the 8th seed? Whoever wins this, you can win out, you can get to the playoffs, but you're going to Cancun as soon as you get to the playoffs because guess who you got to see? Oklahoma City Thunder, and they're bringing out the brooms. I can promise you them brooms is coming out when they see the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I don't care which one of these teams win, but if I had to choose a team, I think I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Clippers, bro. I've been back and forth on this whole time, but I really think the Clippers are going to be the team that ends up winning, and it's mainly just because of how Kawhi has been playing lately. And I know Kawhi is still a game time decision. I think he will end up playing in this matchup here against the Golden State Warriors, but ultimately, I got more faith in Kawhi and the rest of these guys on the team, the rogue guys. I mean, Zubac and everyone else on this team. More than I have of Steph Curry surrounding pieces. That's just kind of what it comes down to me. I don't really have faith in anybody else on this Warriors team outside of Steph Curry.
This is tough for me. Steph, I just want to say, is obviously my favorite player. For people who know me, I'm the biggest Steph fan. But they will lose this game. I think the Clippers are going to win. Steph is actually on a minutes restriction, so he can't go past 29 minutes. So the fact Steph can't play the whole game, we already know what it's like when Steph's out on the court. You got to worry about, you got to depend on guys like Pods, other guys that probably shouldn't be in the NBA. But to the point, it's just Steph doesn't have enough help around him. If Jimmy was there, I would say they can make a run actually in the playoffs. I truly believe that if it was a fully healthy Steph and Jimmy, and if Porzingis was playing, but Porzingis is actually on a minutes restriction from what I saw online too. So I just don't think they have enough. They're too beat up. This whole season has dealt with injuries. Obviously, Jimmy tearing his ACL and Steph coming back from the knee injury. Mm-hmm. I think Steph can win this game. I think the Warriors can from Steph heroics, but with them on a minutes restriction, I just don't see a way unless, I see obviously Pods right there on the screen. Unless he has a historic game, I just don't see them winning. I think the Clippers are too much. They don't have an answer for Kawhi. I love Draymond, but Draymond's not the defender he once was. He can still guard, obviously, but not like what he once was. And it's just because there's too many guys on the Clippers. So I think the Clippers are going to win this game, but regardless, like you said, neither team can beat OKC. So I would rather have Steph lose and get him some help in the offseason, not worry about pods and bring up guys like Santos from the G League. So I just think the Clippers are going to win this, and the Warriors should get healthy for next year. Because if they were to win, they would lose in 5 anyways to Oklahoma City or get swept.
Yeah, we know them brooms coming out for sure. It ain't gonna be 5 games. Don't even try to slide that up.
Steph is good for 1 game. Steph is good. Steph has never been swept. Steph has never been swept.
Not against OKC. Not against them boys. Man, not against OKC. Not the way they play defense up there. It ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. But I mean, before they even can think about OKC, they got to get past the Clippers, and I'm not really convinced, man. Neither this matchup kind of doesn't really move me at all. I think it's going to be fun to see a Kawhi Leonard and a Steph Curry, but truthfully, it makes me think of something we'll discuss in just a second, like a LeBron and Kevin Durant situation where they're going to see each other in the playoffs. Like, so it reminds me of that, of just like both guys kind of on the back end, but I don't know. I don't have too much, but I'm putting faith in the Clippers to win this. Right. But other than that, the last playing game that we have going on is in the Western Conference, and this is the Phoenix Suns versus the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, in this matchup here, I'm going with the Suns to win. I know Trailblazers have kind of been a sleeper team, and I wouldn't put it past the Trailblazers to make it a good game. I think they have their big guy back. I think their 7-footer, I think Klinigan, something like that. I don't want to mess up his name, but 7-footer, he is really solid, and I think he'll do a lot of work. I also think Denny Advia do a lot of work as well, and I don't think they'll pull out the game over the Phoenix Suns, though. For some reason, I trust Devin Booker and really Devin Booker to win this game over a lot of the guys on the Portland Trail Blazers. So I'm going Phoenix Suns to win this game in the West for the play-in.
I really want to disagree with you, not just to disagree, but I really would like to see the Trailblazers because I've always liked them, especially when they had Dame and CJ. But I got to agree. I just don't see a way the Suns lose, especially with the way how Devin Booker's played this year. He's been phenomenal as always. Dylan Brooks has stepped up his game. The Suns got a good team. This is a team that was actually fighting for a higher seed earlier in the season in the West. I just think off Devin Booker alone, that's enough to win you this game because he's going to give you at least 25 to 30, if not more. So the Trailblazers just don't got enough, Yeah. Love Drew Holiday, those boys, but they're too old. Not too old, they're too young, but some of the old guys they have that were good in their prime just aren't the same guys like a Drew Holiday, who I love. So I think Devin Booker, off just him alone, that should be enough. Then you also got guys like Jalen Green who can have a good game. Dylan Brooks has been their phenomenal defender. So Suns actually have a good team, and I think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think their offense is just a little more overpowering than what the Portland Trailblazers have. And that's not to say the Trailblazers won't make it a good game. It's just I think the Suns, they've been better, and I think they will continue to be a little bit better offensively and just be able to I think they'll be able to pull it off, man. I put faith in the Suns to win this one. But this brings me to a point that I didn't want to spoil early on. And this is, the other teams that's in the playoffs. So some of these teams being the Atlanta Hawks versus the New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Raptors. Obviously, some of these matchups are still being decided. The Denver Nuggets versus the the Denver Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Houston Rockets. This game, I got to bring it to attention specifically because of the stars that we're going to see. And I'm not going to even go through all of the matchups because I actually plan on doing that tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. But this matchup specifically, the Houston Rockets versus the Los Angeles Lakers, is this going to be a matchup that can define one's legacy? So can it really help or hurt either LeBron's legacy or Kevin Durant's legacy?
Great question, Manny. I got to say, first off, this might be the last Kevin Durant versus LeBron, playoffs we get. Kevin Durant versus LeBron. This is amazing, just like for all basketball fans, regardless if you like him or hate him. This is amazing. So, two alphas their whole career. First time they're meeting in the playoffs since 2018. I think this playoff series can help both their legacies. More so Kevin Durant's, because Durant has not made a conference finals since he left Steph Curry, and he hasn't won obviously before Steph and after Steph. So Durant has more to prove. LeBron has nothing to prove because most people who know basketball at least have LeBron at 2. Like personally, I got LeBron second all time behind Jordan. So this can only enhance. Like I've said this before, if LeBron could make this a series or even win it, that enhances his case to be the GOAT because he's 41 years old and he's asked to win the series. Like personally, the Rockets should easily win this in 5 or 6 games because LeBron doesn't have AR and he doesn't have Luka. Those are two guys who average, more than 20 plus during the season. So you're already losing 40 plus points just from those two alone. So the fact is just a 41-year-old LeBron, there's really no expectations for LeBron. So this doesn't hurt his legacy by losing. This can only help if LeBron wins. But Kevin Durant has the most to lose. If Kevin Durant loses this series and the Lakers upset them, that's going to help LeBron's GOAT case. And Kevin Durant's like, you really can't win without Steph Curry. You went to the team who was second in the West last year, and now you joined them this year. And obviously they have a great team around them. They might not have as many scoring threats as the Lakers when the Lakers are fully healthy, but this is a good team. The Rockets should win this series pretty easily with the injuries the Lakers got. I mean, it's LeBron and his son out there. Like, if LeBron wins with his son or makes it a series, I mean, we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations.
If he's the GOAT, he's the literal. I will go to war for LeBron. Like I am a bronze sexual, as they say. If he gets out of the first round with Bronny James as his co-star, it ain't no debate. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about how goated he is. At that point, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And to your point, it can't really. He's kind of in a win-win situation because if Bron loses in the first round, nobody expects them to beat the Rockets anyway. Rockets play better basketball. They have more pieces right now that's healthy compared to the Lakers. So nobody really expects them to win. Nobody expects Bron to carry this Lakers team at 41 years old anyway. So he's kind of in a win-win situation. So he could lose, get put out. Won't matter. He gets swept, won't matter. But if he goes and win, now it really helps his case even more because everybody's going to bring up, at 41, he carried a trash team with this guy to the second round. And then it does hurt Kevin Durant, like you said, too, because for Kevin Durant, this is a guy who hasn't really seen success outside of Steph Curry. And now you go and play a hindered Lakers team and you still can't get past them. And I know the Rockets got some injuries as well, but it's not enough injuries in comparison to what the Lakers have with no Luka and no Austin Reeves. So it would definitely hurt Kevin Durant a lot more. Now, do I think the Rockets will win this game? Yes, I think the Rockets can win this series. I think the Rockets win this series in 5 games. I don't even think it get close, but it definitely can hurt one's legacy. And I think it can hurt one Kevin Durant more than it would hurt LeBron James. But ultimately, I really don't think it should even have that much weight on either option. And that's kind of a separate conversation. But truthfully, I don't think it should hold that much weight on either because both of these guys are kind of very close to retirement.
So I give you that. The reason why I say it holds more on Kevin Durant's like Durant, as most people knows, he's the most gifted scorer probably in the history of the league. Probably the most efficient scorer ever. Like this man is just one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. Probably the best scorer we've seen in our lifetime amongst other players. You can make the argument with Kobe, RIP. Kobe's obviously my guy, so there's a lot of people you could put up there. But the reason why I say we have to hold Kevin Durant to a higher standard. This man has not won without Steph. Like when we look at the generation of best players, we look at Steph and Bron at the top, and obviously Bron higher than Steph because Brown won in 2016, came back in Cleveland and got that ring. Steph won in 22 with that really bad Warriors team against Boston. Kevin Durant doesn't have a signature ring like that. If you look at 17 18, it's because you have the 2 greatest shooters ever in Draymond Green at the time, who was the best defender in basketball. And Draymond's really one of the best on-ball defenders of all time. So it's like you can't win one championship without those guys. Like, obviously, just name the moment where LeBron did it outside of Miami, and he obviously got 2 in LA, and Steph did it after Durant left. So it's like, you got to win this. Like, for me, I think this series is Rockets in 5 or 6. I don't think Brown's going to get swept. I think he's good enough to at least get a game or 2. But if you let LeBron win this, that hurts your legacy more because LeBron's a third option right now. You got to think AR and Luka are the 2 best players on this team only because, LeBron's older. He's not really in his prime no more. So it's like, if you lose to a 41-year-old LeBron James with no Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, that looks bad on Kevin Durant. If you lose this series, that looks really bad.
Bro, I really don't think Kevin Durant will end up getting a ring outside of Steph Curry. And I just, as much as I love Kevin Durant, and I think I put Kevin Durant as the best scorer that we've ever seen, I put Kevin Durant as the best scorer ever created because not many guys are 7 foot and can move like he can, dribble like he can, shoot like it's just, you don't see that. That's a once in a generation type of player, similar to how LeBron is a once in a generational type of player. But I don't think he'll win by himself, especially not at this age. Like, as great as hoops as he's playing, I don't think it'll happen, bro. Not in this gauntlet of the Western Conference. Yeah. It just can't happen.
I mean, I don't think he'll win a ring this year either. I mean, I think OKC, Spurs are coming out the West and Detroit or Boston come out the East. But I'm saying that will help his resume. But if he loses in the first round to LeBron, yeah, that hurts him because it's like the last 2 times you beat Bron, you had Steph and Clay. Now there's no Steph and Clay. You don't have the light skins helping you now. So you got to, you got to figure it out. So I think not LeBron, Kevin Durant really has no excuse to lose this series. Like, I'm saying it hurts his legacy if he loses this series. He's obviously a great scorer. We get all that. But, like, is he a great leader? Can you put Kevin Durant on a team that makes him a champion? Durant, you put him on a team, you're adding extra 30 points because he can score. But when you put him on a team like LeBron or Steph, that Steph and LeBron have the effect to win a championship. I just don't see that with Durant. He has to prove it.
See, this is why KD can't lose in the first round. Because of that. Because you said he can't win without Steph. And I get it. He can't win a championship without Steph. But Kevin Durant is still very much a championship caliber player. Like, he's still gonna get you to the championship. Like Warriors don't win them. Debatable, but Warriors probably don't win them 2 rings without Kevin Durant.
I'm a Steph fan, and I can honestly say there's a really good chance Steph does not win those 2 without Kevin Durant. I can agree with that.
To me, just my own thoughts. I just look at it like, don't that make Kevin Durant just as much as a championship player as those we put in the pedestal of Bron and Steph? Doesn't that put Kevin Durant right there in the mix, though?
Manny, this is a great topic, but this is where I got to disagree with you. The reason why, even though, and I'm like, obviously I'm a LeBron troll. I respect Bron, but I like to troll. But the reason why I got to give Bron more of his props, Bron joined a Miami team that, obviously it was him and, Bosh and all that, or Bosh and Wade. They were like medium of the pack, but like a playoff team. Kevin Durant joined a 73-9 Warriors team that won, the championship in 2015, and obviously had the unanimous MVP. So I can't give you that because Steph in his prime, I mean, come on. Like, what Steph was doing, so I got to say, maybe that's a combo for another day, but
this is my only thing. And we'll wrap up too. Luckily, this is the last conversation, so this will be it. But this all I'm going to say. We got to stop acting like, I know KD joined the Warriors with Steph, Clay. It was 79 and whatever, 79 and 9 team, or I'm sorry, 77. Yeah, KD joined the Warriors team, 73 and 9 win team. Like, I understand it, but we got to stop acting like Bron ain't played with stacked teams. We got to stop acting like Bron played with the most garbage of the garbage teams that was out there, because when he won them rings in Miami, when he won them rings in Cleveland, there was one year where he didn't win. Okay, that Cleveland team was a little beat down. They was injured. They was beat down and bruised. But when it was healthy, we can't sit here and act like Kevin Love was a scrub. We can't sit here and act like Kyrie was mediocre. We can't sit here and act like Iman Shumpert wasn't a great defender. J.R. Smith didn't bring. Like, we can't. I feel like so many times, bro, we just downplay the level of Bron's teammates, no matter what team we talk about, whether it's that Miami team, we say, oh, it was just Chris Bosh and D Wade. Bro, he had the best shooters in the game on his side. Ray Allen, Mike Miller, John Jones, who's a three-point shooter. Like, he won three-point champion. Like, that's the only thing I don't like is we downplay the talent that Bron has played with, because there was one year where he got to the finals and he was the only one who drugged that team to the finals. But like that's my only thing. And this is not a thing against what Steph has done or what KD is doing in terms of their teammates, but just in totality. like this is kind of separate from the conversation we was at, but in totality, whatever I'm trying to say, man. We
I know, sure.
stop doing that. We just everybody is basketball hoop fans. We got to stop doing that.
I see what you mean. LeBron started the super teams. He made it cool. I can't say he started because obviously the Celtics and other teams started before him, but
Yeah.
he made it cool. So like when LeBron did, it's like, oh, I could. But we gotta say this, man. Kevin Durant took it to the next level. Now, granted, I'm happy he did that because my boy Steph won more rings. But he joined a team that was literally one game away, a Kyrie 3 away, and a LeBron block away from winning back-to-back titles. So the fact that they went 73-9, and also what makes it worse, Kevin Durant went to the team he was up 3-1 on, then lost. They lost to the Warriors in that conference final.
Yes.
So, and the reason why I give like Steph and like Brown the nod over him like all time for sure. Steph won a championship with Andrew Wiggins as a second option, and Brown, obviously got that 3-1 comeback, and and he's won 2 without Wade.
No, but you doing it right there, Trav. Why we downplaying Andrew Wiggins like he was some kind of scrub though?
No, he was good. He made the All-Star team that year, but what has he done post Steph?
But that's a different conversation. He had a good year. He had a good year with the Warriors.
All right, let me ask you this. If you switch Kevin Durant with Steph Curry, does Kevin Durant win a championship with Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and those guys?
You keep Draymond on there.
Yeah, the same team, but you just take Steph out. I disagree. I don't think they won that year. Because you want to know why? He got swept that same year, that team by Brooklyn. That's a stretch. No, I'm reaching for sure.
No, I'm saying me. I'm reaching. I'm reaching saying KD would probably win without Steph on that team. I don't know. Because also too, this is another thing. KD was playing the best basketball of his career with the Warriors. That was some of the best basketball he's ever played. And that was like peak Kevin Durant. Like it's obvious in that he was the best player in the NBA that year.
And that's why too with that team, when Kevin Durant's on there, that's why they're looked at as the greatest team ever. You can't double Kevin Durant because you're going to leave Steph or Clay open. And we're talking about, in my opinion, the 2 greatest shooters to ever live. So it's like then Draymond, can shoot a little bit. Then you obviously had guys off the bench. They had Sean Livingston. Like those Warriors teams, they had great role players. So Durant, it's like he got his numbers because you can't, you have to go at him one-on-one. It's like nobody can guard Durant one-on-one because he's the most gifted scorer ever. So it's like, that's why I think Durant, I want to see him lead as a champion, but you do make a good point. He is 37. He's not in his prime no more. But it's like, what signature moment does he have outside the 2 rings with Steph? So Steph got that one in 22. Brown got that one in 16.
Yeah, my boy KD, man. I don't know. I can't watch him go down to a beat down bruised Lakers team like this, bro. That would hurt me and hurt every argument I have deep inside for Kevin Durant. Just being as elite as he is. And I think that's undeniable, but it would just open a gate for trolls to go more and more and more. Like, oh my gosh, man. Oh my God.
One thing I would add though, if Brown somehow does win this series and they beat the Rockets, I'm pretty sure he would get Luka and AR back for round 2. I'm not saying they would beat OKC, but that would make it a great series if you get Luka and AR back for round 2 versus OKC. Just wanted to add that.
They might. I know Luka's. I don't remember what AR injury is, but I know Luka had a hamstring injury.
Yeah, that's what kind of AR has too. They said he could be back for the second round if they make it.
Yeah, see? So, I mean, that would be helpful. It would be helpful. I think that could definitely help their odds, especially considering, like, you got to go against Thunder if you end up getting out of the first round. I don't think they would win, but it would definitely help them a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, look, man, let the people know where they can find you, Trav. If they want to hit you up on IG or anything like that.
Hey, man, I always appreciate you having me on. Everybody can check me out. Weekly videos on YouTube for Spectrum News. I'm a reporter at Spectrum News Cincinnati, at Travis6_reporter, Twitter, Travis_reporter, and Facebook, Travis6, and Instagram is Travis6_reporter.
Love it. I love it. And then you can go ahead and follow us as well at The Run Podcast. That's what you can catch all the clips and all the videos, everything there on Instagram. Also check it out on Facebook, The Run Podcast, TikTok, The Run Podcast, YouTube, The Run with Manny Wilson. And if you're listening to the podcast platform, you already know it's The Run with Manny Wilson. And then outside of that, the last thing I'm going to leave y'all with is just a positive note. And the positive note for today is just going to be as simple as I think I used this a couple weeks ago, but I'm gonna use it again. You know, reduce, reuse, recycle. It's gonna be as simple as you gotta look at the lens of life sometimes through the lens of a wide receiver. You know, sometimes you run your routes hard, you don't get the ball. Sometimes you block really good, you don't get the ball. Sometimes they throw you the ball and it's an awful pass and you don't get a chance to catch it. But when you finally get that opportunity, when it's finally there in your hands, it's coming over your shoulder and you can see the ball flying and it's coming straight to your hands, you better damn sure catch it and you better take it to get 6. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Other than that, man, look, that's all I got for y'all. So I appreciate you for tuning in. Trav, of course, man, I appreciate you for joining, of course. And we're gonna be back at it probably next Monday. But for anybody listening, tune in tomorrow. We also got somebody coming through tomorrow. We're going to talk more of the playoff matchups and everything then. But outside of that, we'll be back tomorrow. Usually I say later on this week, but it'll be tomorrow. And so on and so on and so